Welcome to this Saints Row Reboot reveal reaction. Um, I know I'm a little late with this video, and that has two very simple reasons. One being my schedule, and two, I wasn't really sure where I was going to go with this video. Um, I was quite a bit conflicted between some of the things that I really liked about the reveal and some of the things I didn't. Given it some thought, um, here we are. I'm just gonna discuss in this video what's been revealed, what I think is a good thing, what I think is not so good, what I think is perhaps being oversold. So, let's kick off with the reboot and how they are planning to reboot it, or at least how it seems they're going to reboot this. From a gameplay point, they seem to have gone for Saints Row the Third and that format. This, in my opinion, is the right move. Saints Row the Third was the most polished and well balanced out of all the Saints Row games, at least from a gameplay perspective. Um, so using the Saints Row the Third format is smart. I also think they're going to use the Saints Row the Third engine and quite a bit of the assets that they've used for that remaster um, to have a bit of a head start on this reboot, which is just smart. After all, why would you waste time on creating an engine and assets that you already have? The answer is you don't. Looking at the world, or the setting, Santo Ileso could be good. A new fresh city could be exciting, and it's been confirmed that there will be multiple parts of the city. With three gangs, one more traditional like, called the Panteros. These guys are just the tough guys of the street, the proper thugs, strong and dangerous. We got the Icons, a gang that seems to be about some sort of party animal type of people who see themselves as the icons of the new world, hence why they are called icons. The last one is a mercenary group led by a guy named the Marshal, who owns a global corporation called Marshall. Uh, which all I want to say is about these gangs, I like the diversity. The diversity in the gangs is good. Kind of gives me a Ronin Samedi Brotherhood vibe back from Saints Row 2. So points on that. Within the setting, three things will be key. The city needs to be diverse. Saints Row 2 level diverse. Stillwater had so many areas, like the University District, the Saints Row District, the Red Light District, downtown, the airport, Factory District, Museum District. I could go on. Next up are the enemy gangs. Like I said, the gangs are quite diverse, but it's their leaders that make the gang. Tanya and Benjamin King made the Vikings interesting. Killbane was a great villain to defeat as the leader of the Luchadors. Philippe Laurent was a A-grade best. YouTube doesn't like the word. Philippe was a proper bad person. Same goes for Mero of the Brotherhood. Shogo and Kazuyo made the Ronin an epic faction as well. The gang leaders, is my point, they better be good. The third thing that makes a setting are the Saints. The new Saints are made of the boss. I like that continuity. The player character has been called the boss in Saints Row 2, with the exception for some of the characters in 4 who called him the president, because in 4 you were the president. That's just the way it is. The other three characters are Nina, Kevin, and Eli. Nina is a driver, Kevin, a former DJ, and Eli, in the CGI trailer, seemed like a hacker type, but according to the latest video brought out by Volition, he is more of a businessman. Altogether, making them a solid team, you presume. The characters had little of themselves revealed. There seemed to be a hint of satirical fun and some good or at least decent chemistry amongst the characters. But with this trailer, you are not going to find out what the characters are really like. And quite frankly, we won't know until we get a good chunk of gameplay and story. The characters didn't really look bad, which is all we can decide at this point, and hopefully future reveals will show that the characters are actually good. We will find out, hopefully, as of course the release of Saints Row, the reboot, is still a half year away. The last thing we can go over are some of the side activities we know of. It seems like the activities surround the businesses that the Saints will build up. There is drugs trafficking out of a fast food restaurant, selling stolen cars out of or to a chop shop. This wasn't really specified. All that's been said was stolen cars and chop shop, and insurance fraud will make its comeback. All of them are kind of old activities, and hopefully they get a more randomized element and a little bit of a revamp, creating some longevity, as the activities hasn't really significantly changed since Saints Row 1. So you can say it's a little bit overdue. Out of the post-reveal, post-Gamescom interview with James Hague, there have been a few reveals. Every criminal business brings their own gameplay element. Once the Saints get stronger, they can take on the rival gangs in a big fight that's inspired by movies like John Wick and The Fast and Furious, specifically Hobbs and Shaw, which means that there's going to be a lot of driving and just spectacular missions. The car combat is going to get a little bit revamped as well. Cars will play a bigger part in the actual car combat and will be less about shooting your gun out a window. Cruise control will also be removed, which doesn't faze me. Never used it. Um, in the game, we will have aircrafts, hoverboards, bikes, and wingsuits as part of the available vehicles, besides, of course, cars. Wingsuits will have their own activity business. If I were to guess, I would say some sort of drugs delivery thing, or just a simple race could also be a thing. But the first one would seem more interesting in the sense of business. But hey, co-op remains. Of course, Saints Row has been a staple of co-op. Saints Row 2 up until Get Out of Hell have all been playable co-op, fully playable co-op. The reboot is not going to differ from that. All the missions will be co-op playable, and co-op will work across generations, which means if you are on Xbox One, you can play with people from the Series X. If you are on PlayStation 4, you can play with people on PlayStation 5 and vice versa, of course. Um, so yeah, that's good. That's something we see a lot more often in games, and Saints Row is not going to differ from that. As you build your empire, you can also interact with buildings. This to build your empire, which is apparently completely optional. However, this does make me think of the strongholds that we had in Saints Row the Third. I don't think it's gonna have the massive depth as promised, but again, time will tell. Overall, this is gonna mark the end of the Stillwater Saints. It's gonna be the end of the endless chase to hunt down and kill Dax. It's gonna be the end of Shandy, Pierce, Kinsey, and all the other characters we've grown to love. And this is just gonna be the end of this part of the franchise, which has left multiple things and storylines unfinished, which we will never get answer to. And while we have fond memories of the beloved Saints Row franchise up until this point, looking through the cracks of the reboot reveal, we might actually have a bit of a bright future for the Saints on our hands. Now, it's up to you to leave your thoughts in the comments. I'm sure everyone's thoughts will vary a lot, so make sure to leave them down below. I will read every single one of them, so make sure you type it down. Put the effort in. I will put the effort in as well. Make sure you like the video if you liked it, and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future uploads or live streams. And of course, most importantly, thank you for watching.